If you are a U.S. citizen, a green card holder, or someone who is planning to travel outside the United States in the coming weeks or months, then this video was made specifically for you. I know there has been a lot of confusion lately about travel rules, passport requirements, and what people need to do before they leave the country. You may have seen headlines that made you nervous. You may have heard from a friend or a family member that something has changed. And now you are wondering if your upcoming trip is at risk, or if there is something important you forgot to do. I want you to take a deep breath right now. My goal today is not to scare you. My goal is to explain everything calmly, clearly, and in a way that actually helps you. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what steps you should consider taking before any international trip, what common mistakes to avoid, and most importantly, what you do not need to worry about at all. There will be no panic here, only truth, clarity, and practical guidance. My name is Michael, and I have been creating these videos for years now to help everyday people like you understand the news without the stress. I am not here to get clicks by making you afraid. I am here to be your calm guide through confusing information. So let us walk through this together, step by step, and by the end, you will feel much more prepared and much more at peace. Before we go any further, I want to be very clear about something important. I am not an attorney. I am not a government official. I am not giving you legal advice, and nothing in this video should be taken as official instruction. What I am doing is explaining publicly available information in simple, everyday language so that you can understand it, and then decide for yourself what steps to take. If you have a specific legal situation or concern, please speak with a licensed immigration attorney or contact the appropriate government agency directly. With that said, let us continue. So what is this really about? What is it that passport holders need to do before traveling abroad? Let me explain. The truth is, there is no single new law that suddenly requires everyone to do something dramatic before leaving the country. But there are several important things that experienced travelers already know, and that many first-time travelers or people who have not traveled in years might not be aware of. These are not scary requirements. They are simply smart, practical steps that can save you from unnecessary problems at the airport, at the border, or while you are overseas. Let us start with the most important one. And this is something that catches people off guard more than almost anything else. Many countries around the world will not let you enter if your passport expires within 6 months of your arrival date. This is called the 6-month validity rule, and it applies to a large number of popular destinations, including countries in Europe, Asia, South America, and elsewhere. Even if your passport is technically still valid, if it expires in 4 months or 5 months, you could be denied boarding at the airport or denied entry when you land. This surprises a lot of people. They look at their passport, they see it does not expire for another few months, and they assume everything is fine. But then they arrive at the gate or at immigration overseas, and they are told they cannot continue. This is not a new rule. It has existed for many years, but many travelers simply do not know about it until it affects them personally. So, if you are planning any international travel, the first thing I encourage you to do is check your passport expiration date right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. Or as soon as this video ends. If your passport expires within the next 6 to 9 months, I strongly suggest you begin the renewal process as soon as possible. This gives you a comfortable cushion and protects you from unexpected delays. And speaking of delays, this brings me to the next important point. Passport processing times have been unpredictable over the past few years. During certain periods, it has taken 10 weeks, 12 weeks, sometimes even longer to receive a renewed passport through standard processing. Expedited processing is available for an additional fee, and it can shorten the wait time to around 5 to 7 weeks in many cases, but even that is not guaranteed. If you wait until the last minute to renew your passport before a trip, you are taking a significant risk. Now, Let me be very clear here. I am not saying you need to panic. I am not saying the system is broken. I am simply saying that planning ahead is always the wisest choice. The State Department works hard to process passports, but they handle millions of applications, and sometimes there are backlogs. If you give yourself enough time, this will not be a problem. If you wait until 2 weeks before your trip, it might become a problem. So please, plan ahead. That is all. For those of you who are green card holders, there are additional things to keep in mind, and I want to address this carefully because I know many of you watching are lawful permanent residents who want to travel and visit family abroad. As a green card holder, your green card itself is your re-entry document for returning to the United States after short trips. However, if you plan to be outside the United States for more than 6 months, your re-entry could be questioned. Immigration officers may ask why you were gone so long and whether you still intend to live permanently in the United States. If you are outside the country for more than 1 year without a re-entry permit, you could face serious complications, including the potential loss of your green card status. This does not mean you cannot travel. Of course you can. But if you are planning an extended trip, especially one that might last more than a few months, I encourage you to speak with an immigration attorney beforehand to understand your options. There is a document called a re-entry permit that can be applied for before you leave, and it allows you to stay abroad for up to 2 years without automatically abandoning your permanent resident status. This is something to be aware of, especially for those of you who may be caring for elderly family members overseas or dealing with long-term family matters. Let me take a moment here to address some common myths and misunderstandings that I see circulating online. Some people believe that if you travel abroad as a naturalized citizen, you are at greater risk of losing your citizenship. This is largely a myth. Naturalized citizens have the same rights as citizens born in the United States. You can travel freely. You can visit your country of origin. You can even hold dual citizenship in many cases without any legal issue. The only situations where citizenship could theoretically be affected involve very extreme circumstances, such as committing treason, serving in a foreign military that is hostile to the United States, or formally renouncing your citizenship. These are rare, extreme cases that do not apply to ordinary travelers visiting family, taking vacations, or conducting business. So if you are a naturalized citizen and you have been worried about traveling, please let that worry go. You earned your citizenship. It is yours. Traveling does not put it at risk. Another myth I hear often is that immigration officers can cancel your green card at the airport for no reason. This is not accurate. While immigration officers do have authority to ask questions and examine your documents, they cannot simply cancel your status on a whim. There are legal processes involved. There are rights that protect you. If there were ever a serious concern, you would have the opportunity to see an immigration judge and present your case. The system is not perfect, but it is not random either. There are rules, procedures, and protections in place. Now let me give you some practical guidance that applies to almost everyone watching this video, whether you are a citizen, a green card holder, or even someone still waiting for immigration approval. First, before any international trip, check your passport expiration date and make sure you have at least 6 to 9 months of validity remaining. If not, start the renewal process immediately. Second, make photocopies of your important documents, including your passport, your green card if applicable, your driver's license, and any travel visas. Keep one copy at home with a trusted family member, and carry one copy separately from the originals while you travel. If your documents are ever lost or stolen, these copies can be extremely helpful. Third, consider enrolling in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, also known as STEP. This is a free service provided by the State Department that allows U.S. citizens and nationals traveling abroad to register their trip with the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. If there is an emergency in the country you are visiting, whether it is a natural disaster, political unrest, or a family emergency back home, the embassy can reach you and provide assistance. It takes just a few minutes to enroll online, and it is completely optional, but highly recommended. Fourth, check the travel advisories for your destination. The State Department regularly updates travel advisories for countries around the world, rating them on a scale from level 1, which means exercise normal precautions, to level 4, which means do not travel. You can find this information easily on the State Department website. This helps you make informed decisions about where and when to travel. Fifth, and this applies especially to green card holders, if you are going to be outside the United States for an extended period, make sure you understand the potential implications for your immigration status. When in doubt, consult with an immigration attorney before you leave. A short consultation can give you peace of mind and help you avoid unintentional mistakes. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about the current state of immigration processing, because I know many of you are not just travelers. Many of you are also waiting for immigration decisions. You are waiting for green card approvals, citizenship interviews, visa stamps, or other updates. And the waiting can be exhausting. I want you to know that processing times remain longer than many people would like. uscis, the agency that handles most immigration applications, has been working through significant backlogs. Some cases that used to take 6 months are now taking a year or more. Some people are waiting many months just to receive a receipt notice. This is frustrating. I understand. But it is important to know that delays are not the same as denials. Silence from uscis does not mean something is wrong. In most cases, it simply means your application is still in the queue, waiting to be reviewed. If you have a trip planned and you are waiting for a document, such as an advance parole or a renewed green card, please plan carefully. Do not leave the country without the proper documentation in hand. I have seen too many cases where someone assumed their document would arrive in time, and it did not, and then they faced serious complications trying to return. When in doubt, delay your trip or consult with an attorney. It is always better to be safe. I know this process is stressful. I know the waiting feels endless sometimes. I know you lie awake at night wondering if everything will be okay. I want you to hear me when I say this. You are not alone. Millions of people are going through the same experience. The fear you feel is valid, but it does not have to consume you. The immigration system, for all its flaws, is not designed to punish honest people who follow the rules. It is slow, it is bureaucratic, it is sometimes frustrating beyond belief. But it is not random, and it is not out to get you. Take a moment right now to breathe. Remind yourself that you are doing everything you can. Remind yourself that patience, as difficult as it is, will carry you through this. And remind yourself that better days are coming. Let me summarize what we covered today. Before traveling abroad, passport holders should check their passport expiration date and ensure it is valid for at least 6 months beyond their travel dates. Renewing early is wise because processing times can be unpredictable. Green card holders should be mindful of how long they stay outside the country to protect their status. Everyone should make copies of important documents, consider enrolling in STEP, and check travel advisories. Naturalized citizens can travel freely without fear of losing their citizenship under normal circumstances. And if you are waiting for an immigration decision, plan your travel carefully and do not leave without the proper documents. There is no reason to panic. There is no sudden new rule that changes everything overnight. There is only the timeless advice to be prepared, to plan ahead, and to stay informed. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. It means a great deal to me that you trust me to explain these things calmly and clearly. If this information helped you, I invite you to stay connected with this channel. We cover important updates regularly, always with the same calm and honest approach. If you have questions or personal experiences you would like to share, the comments section is open, and I read as many as I can. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And remember, you are not alone on this journey. I will see you in the next video.